Hey guys, it's Ty's Minecraft 360 here with another video for you guys today, and today I'm going to be reviewing this vintage Sony CFS-230 boombox. This boombox is probably from around the mid to late 80s. It is a Sony model, so it's like one of their lower end cheaper models. But it's still not, it's kind of good, but it's like not the greatest. But it's anyways, this is what this video is about. I am going to be reviewing this boombox. So first thing, I'm going to go over the features. So we have standard AM/FM radio. You got your cassette player, standard cassette player. You got your controls for said cassette player up here. Play, fast forward, that's rewind, fast forward, stop, and then pause, and record is over here. And then when you press record, it pushes, it's a one-touch recording. So, you got your tone dial here. You got your volume. You got a handle, carrying handle, which is nice. You got, your selector switch for, the tape player and the AM/FM, and it says here, Walkman in. That is for this auxiliary port on the front of the device. You can plug any auxiliary cable into here. Originally, back then, you would have used your Sony Walkman, but now you can either use a Walkman like it's meant to be, or you can even plug your phone into here and just use the speakers. But these speakers don't have a whole lot of bass, so you might not want to do that. But this is just, it's a smaller, cheaper boombox. On the side here, you got your AM/FM tuner dial. You got your antenna, which extends out quite high. And then on the back, you just got some information, and then your batteries go in here. It takes 6C batteries. And then, so I'm going to have it set on. So let's try the radio first. So I'm going to set it, oh, it's kind of, there we go. Set it to AM first. And pick something up.
To find a Centers for Rehab Services location near you.
Offer not valid in all states.
In the daytime, you don't get much. You mostly just get, like, sports, politics, news, weather, stuff like that.
Hey, thanks for the help, Bri.
But,
It's customer
during the nighttime, you get, AM channel skip, and you can get lots of different things. So let's go and move on to AM.
Well here, and I was like, oh, someday maybe.
Waterproof laminate flooring starting at just $248.
and extended.
The program includes
Donation tire. Are you tired of sitting? What I got news for you. Rain, it's lower 30s.
So that's it for the AM. So we'll go back to tape. Go and put that back because I have a channel that I like to leave it on. So I'm going to go to tape. I have a handful of random tapes that may or may not work. Because the cassette player in this is a bit iffy. It works with most tapes, but then there's a lot also that the pinch roller or something's like not aligned correctly, and it like tries to pull the tape and twist it, like not eat it, but like twist it, and I hate it. It's weird, but usually I can tell by how it sounds because it like will pull it to the side and start trying to twist it, and you can hear it in the audio. But I do have some tapes that do work, so we're going to try that. So actually, let me put the antenna down because we're not going to be using that anymore. So got a handful of tapes. Let's do Awesome Mix Volume 2. It actually tried to twist this one, but I managed to fix it. It actually did twist it, but then I somehow managed to fix it. not gonna play a whole lot, just in case of possible copyright issues. So that's and I restored the cassette mechanism. This still has the original, or at least what I think is the original belt in it. It was a little stretched and deformed, but I did the trick where you put it in like hot boiling water and leave it sit for a while, and that seemed to have gotten the belt good enough to where it works. I mean, the fast forward's a little weak. Fast forward is weak, but rewind is nice and strong, and play is strong, so that's all that really matters. So let's see what else we got here. Ghostbusters soundtrack. It doesn't have a whole lot of wow and flutter, and if it does, it's not very noticeable. I mean, some of it is, but not a lot. So, after restoring the belt and calibrating the tape speed and messing with the head alignment, which I probably still need to mess with a little bit, but after doing all that, it sounds pretty good compared to what it did when I got it. And I use, to calibrate my cassette players, I use this 3000 hertz test tone tape, which this is the one that someone made, but it's a professional, it's made by this company, I think in Ukraine, I don't remember, but they're called Fix Your Audio, and they sell these on their website, and you have to get them imported from a different country, like Ukraine or something like that, I don't remember, but it's just, let me turn it down, it's quite loud, it's just this test tone that you use to then use a meter of some kind. You can download an e-meter app on your phone, which is what I did, or you can actually use like a professional meter. But the one on your app, the ones you can download for free on your phone seem to work just fine. And you match that up to the number as close as you can to the number that's on there, and then you're set to go speed-wise. Which, if you know like me, I like to have it perfect. But I have one other tape here. And then this is one that I made. It's a Maxell, one of my tapes. And this one doesn't seem to really work. And you can hear, I don't know if it will, you can hear how it's kind of muffling. And that's it trying to twist the tape. Like, okay. Like that. So it's like muffling it. And then that's it trying to twist the tape right up in here. So it's bad. Like, it does that with some tapes. Like, all these ones here that I just showed you, not this one, these ones all work fine, but certain ones it just doesn't like, and it tries to ruin them. I actually had one snap. I had one got eaten, like really badly eaten up in here, and it snapped the tape. That was one of my Def Leppard tapes, but I'll have to get another one of them tapes, the album. But, yeah, but the pinch roller was still quite dirty. I had cleaned it once, thought it was good, but then I didn't get all the dirt off, and it must have been still sticky. So then I, cleaned it again, and even more stuff came off of it. So I think I've got it all cleaned up now. I don't know if you guys, there's the cassette mechanism. You guys can see that, if you guys are curious. So I'll just play a little bit more. Let's see, this one. This is one of my favorites, Footloose movie soundtrack. And here's I'll do the tone dial. I just usually live in the center, and then pause function, and then rewind, fast forward, play. So everything works. The Walkman in. Here, actually, let me go grab something to demonstrate that with. Alright, I'm back, and I got a cheap auxiliary cable and my Sony TPSL2 Walkman to demonstrate the auxiliary in. So going ahead and plug this into here, like so. And this is a bit of a cheap, dodgy wire because I got it from Dollar Tree, but so it may not work great right off the bat. But let's see, put this one in, the one that we had in there, and then we gotta switch it to the Walkman in setting, and then push play. It's not. Come on. So that's coming from the Walkman. It's not as good as audio quality than from straight here because I don't know, it's the Walkman. I have trouble with it coming out of this side. So that was coming out of the Walkman, and again, you can use this with a Walkman, your phone, iPod. It doesn't matter as long as it has the same kind of 3.5 millimeter headphone jack that this uses. Then you can hook it up to this, and then it'll work just fine. So I'm gonna switch that off. Take that, put it back to the side. So my overall thoughts on this boombox. A lot of times when you find these on eBay, they're for parts are not working. This one was labeled as used, and I actually got the AC cable, which by the way, it's got an AC port in the back there. But if you ever want like a vintage boombox, don't get one of those modern like retro boomboxes. Those are absolute garbage. They're mono sound. They're not even stereo. Their AM/FM radios might be okay, but like the cassette players on the cassette player part are always complete and utter junk. If you want like this kind of small retro boombox, actually get a vintage one, because the modern ones that are like meant to be retro, just garbage. This one probably wouldn't take much to make it kind of garbage, but being it's a Sony and it's relatively in good condition. It gets very loud too. It gets very loud. It can get very loud. So for such a small boombox, it can get very loud. Most boomboxes can get very loud, but this one can get pretty loud. The antenna's not bad. The antenna's pretty good. It gets pretty good AM/FM reception. So if you like listen to the AM/FM radio, this should be plenty good enough. The dial's got a good feel, so you can kind of fine tune it a little bit. The Walkman in thing's cool, so like you can take your phone or your Walkman or whatever and use this as a loudspeaker for your Walkman, and if you don't want to use headphones, but of course you can do that with any speaker. But if you don't have just a little auxiliary speaker, then you can use this. This is the only boombox I've ever seen with this on it, so yeah, it's one thing to have this. And there's not a lot of things about this that are like bad or anyway, but there's one thing I've noticed is that you use these little grills. They're supposed to be like tweeter speakers. There's nothing behind theirs. It's just like little ventilation shafts. Yeah, the sounds okay. I personally prefer a little bit more bass, but they are small speakers from like the 80s, so, and they're cheaper, so well as my bigger speakers that I have for my main setup are probably roughly around the same size, and they have a lot more bass, but again, they're probably a lot more expensive, and they're a lot newer too, so these don't have the most amount of bass, and I would have liked for it to have a bit more bass, but it's a small boombox. Like, here's it compared to a tape. Like, it's not that big, so yeah, I like it. I think it's nice. There are a lot of models similar to this, and of course there is this in particular model. But I liked this one in particular because I liked just the small, compact design. I liked the kind of printing design on the door here, and I like this little. I thought this Walkman in thing was neat, and yeah, and I got it just how just a little boombox, because I have a newer boombox that's from like probably the 90s, or probably the 90s JVC one, and it's huge and it takes a lot of D-cell batteries, and it's really big and heavy, and it's got a dual cassette deck, and they don't even work 100%. The radio's okay, but instead of having this nice dial on the side, it's got like a little thumb dial thing you turn on the front, and it doesn't even have the extendable antenna, I don't think. So I want just, like smaller, more personal sized boombox than just the humongous thing that I had way too much that I really didn't need. So that's my overall review. I like it, except for the fact that it doesn't work with all of my tapes. But I think it's nice. It's small and relatively lightweight for a boombox. I mean, it's still a bit heavy, but for a boombox, it ain't too bad. And something if you just want to like sit it in your room or sit it out on like in your backyard or something, like this would be perfectly, or kitchen. It doesn't matter. This would be nice for that kind of thing. So overall review is mostly positive. And if you guys want to you can get these on eBay. But again, most of these are for parts of repair. So you probably have to do something to it to get it 100%. Luckily, mine, the belts were still in good shape. So I was able to fix it up pretty easily. But yeah, that about does it for this review. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.